Hey, what's up, guys? I thought I'd be interesting to show another game of Through the Ages. I thought this was a quite an interesting game. Um, so yeah, uh, let's get into it. So here, opponent goes Hanging Gardens. It was the only one they're showing on the row. I think for me, Engineering Genius was the clear best choice. I mean, I could be left without a leader here because Ashoka and Boudica will fall into the two spaces that they'll fall off, and the opponent could take Confucius. But I think I preferred Engineering Genius, so I went with that for two civil actions. And yeah, so luckily another leader came out, but the opponent took Boudica in the end. So I think I'm looking to get pyramids here. I take Confucius. He's not one I take often, but I thought this time it was okay instead of waiting for Caesar. Question here is whether I take pyramids or Saint Pete's. Um, I decide to go with pyramids in case there's a ravages, and I can also finish it immediately and get the civil action. Um, Nostradamus, I like leaving Nostradamus on two there. Yeah, I think I said in my last video he's one of the leaders I like. Um, so I'm looking to get him probably iron into my hand in this turn. Thankfully I had free population there, so yeah, iron. I even get that upgraded, so looking pretty good on getting that. It's fairly early in age one, so I was happy to get that started. There's Code of Laws on 3. Um, that'll be an important card as well to try and get. So I do take it. An Engineering Genius. I see Himeji's coming down the row as well. He still hasn't finished Hanging Gardens, and this will fall um, probably onto one civil action spot for me on my next turn. So I take Engineering Genius, Cultural Heritage as well, because I only have two production of science and 3 science overall, and I still have Code of Laws and potentially Knights to want to develop. So yeah, I think those choices made sense. Rebellion doesn't affect anyone. He gets iron going, takes monarchy, so he has pretty good science on resource production. Crusades doesn't hurt. So I decide to finish Meiji immediately. Gets me the culture going, gets me back above Boudica in terms of strength, so it negates Boudica's ability. So they won't be able to choose the science at the start of their turn, so they can gain one food, rock, or science if they are same strength or higher. So by finishing a Meiji, I get above them in strength. Immigration. So thankfully, that came out before they finished Hanging Gardens. So they actually have a pretty strong turn here. They get monarchy developed. They get the extra civil action from Saladin. They're stronger. So I just finish upgrading knights or iron and increase population to get out of corruption. So their economy is looking very, very good. They even get a third lab out. So they're looking quite strong. Unfortunately, Dark Ages comes out just as they did that. So I get third irrigation, or third farm, sorry. I mainly do that. I don't think there's an ocean liner in this game, and I didn't want to have to fight for selective breeding. Um, so they're actually looking quite good here in terms of their position. So if we pause it there, they're stronger. Um, they have good civil actions. They have 3 military actions when we're in age 2. They have good science, good resource, and good food. Um, so I think my thinking here was I need to fix happiness for one, and I probably want to take Napoleon, because if they get Napoleon, I leave myself open to some aggression or war. Um, and yeah, the other leaders, Darwin's probably good, if I could get him, but I already have a religion. I would like Nobel. He would really help with science production, but it was really out of fear that I end up deciding to go with Napoleon. And I build the warrior, to help with strength and also to get out of corruption. So they seed again, and it's strategic, which they win. I'm not really able to bid competitively for either of those territories. They take statue, frugality, and cannon. So increasing to get out of corruption, and then I'm trying to maintain a decent culture advantage. Okay, so that's paid off for them, their science production. Yeah, so their civil action is looking very strong. Um, Economy is very good as well. That was a painful rats for both of us, but definitely more so for him. So yeah, I think priority here is to try and get science up and running. Take cannons, um, just to have them in hand. So they have a pretty good setup here for Darwin, with by getting the journalism out, although they also have their religion. So yeah, I'd mainly go with cavalrymen just to try and get back up in strength. Given the good food production I was able to, and resources, I was able to go for another drama. Then we're into age 3, so they get pretty good culture production going here with Darwin. They also go for an age 2 government when they had an age 1, but they do have pretty good science, so they can't afford to do that. I upgrade the last farm there, and then build the warrior. So they're looking quite good as well. They have strategy, so Republican strategy is a very good combo. They took democracy, I think, just to deny it from me, because I am still on despotism, which is severely limiting the amount I can do. So they're now well ahead in terms of culture production. So they have 13 versus my 7, but the culture lead I built up earlier, I'm still ahead in overall culture. But yeah, their culture production is quite worrying. Um, on the other hand, Pierre is there. I already have team sports built. They don't have either bred and circuses, and professional sports hasn't come out yet. So I think Pierre looking pretty attractive for me at the moment. They ramp it up even further, up to 17. 10 science production now, and a lot of civil actions, whereas I'm still limited to 6 here. So I seeded that earlier, because I know uh, that his only wonder is hanging gardens. Yeah, so I go with Pierre. I take fundamentalism for 3 just because I had to get some kind of a government. Um, that was very fortunate that prosperity hit now. So I seeded ravages earlier to get rid of hanging gardens, which puts him in a lot of happiness issues. And he doesn't have the resources to build another movies, or didn't on that turn. So yeah, go into fundamentalism, build 4 team sports, which gets my culture production up and running. I did declare the Olympics, um, so I felt much better after that turn, getting the civil actions and the team sports going. Still lagging a bit behind in culture production. They go with United Nations there, which was a good pick for them. I would have taken that, I think, had he not, because he can't really use International Red Cross with only 5 food, whereas I had taken a couple of reserves earlier in the hope that, or if in case I was left with International Red Cross. So if we roll it on, we go into age 4. My thinking here is, if I take International Red Cross, I should be able to get 4 plus 4. That's another 8 food, up to 10. I think he will probably, if I take it, he will probably build a stage, and then I can build the remaining, which would be better than going for a war, or going without a wonder, because Hollywood isn't that good for me either. So yeah, that's kind of my thinking at this point in the game. Impact of industry, I think IC did that. It doesn't make a difference. So yeah, I take the reason I took Air Forces. I have impact of strength, and I'm thinking I should, if he increases strength on his last turn, I'll be able to use military build-up, and this way I will have just enough civil actions. I'll be able to play both reserves, engineering, develop that, and I think and play that as well, and if I need to, probably play that, and then hopefully I'll be able to have enough to get, if their strength is higher, to get above them in strength and win impact of strength, because the culture race is quite close at the moment. I'm at 154, they're at 143 with a wonder. So my team sports really paying off there. 4 team sports really helps with the impact of architecture. They go with professional sports, fix their happiness, get Sid Meier into place. They have a good United Nations here with impact of culture as well. So that was very good for them. They do build a stage of my wonder, and they go above me in strength as well. So kind of what I was anticipating on the last turn. So I think that was impact of strength I played. Balance is good. So I play the reserves, develop engineering, play revolutionary idea, develop air forces, and then the engineering allows me to finish International Red Cross for one civil action, which gives me just enough to disband a mine and build an air forces and get above in strength. So yeah, that's the ending. So 229 culture for me, versus 212 for him. And yeah, if we roll it on, then yeah, impact of strength, which I had played. Harmony was very good for him, and not so great for me. That last air forces was good. I think he seeded competition, or maybe it was me, but my main reason for the air forces was the impact of strength. And then the last one is government. So, yeah, pretty good win. I felt very hampered in the early, well, age up until age 3 really, by my lack of a government. He did well um, to deny me democracy. I didn't really have the science production to go for Conmon. I think that was available to me, so perhaps I should have taken that. Um, but yeah, the worked out in the end. Fairly close game actually. And then let's have a look at the graphs. These are one of the recent features of the app that CGE has developed, and yeah, they're really useful. Just in terms of analyzing the game, you can monitor like your science production, your food, your resources, your culture. Gives you a good timeline of the game. So you can see I was in despotism all the way up until round 16. And yeah, it shows you when you change leaders, and yeah, it's overall very good for analysing games after they've finished. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you would do differently. Other than that, thanks for joining, and I'll see you again next time.